Do you want to instantly become a better fighter in the brand new Simpsons season? If so, then you clicked on the right video, because I've already hit Unreal Rank in the first 4 days of the brand new season, and today I'm going to be showing you 10 different ways to become a better fighter in Ranked in the brand new Simpsons season. All of the fighting tips and tricks I'm going to be covering in this video are designed to make you a better fighter in the fastest way possible, so that by the end of this video, you watching this video, never find yourself losing a fight ever again. But before I get into the first part of this video, if you guys haven't already, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, if you want to support me even more, the best way to do so is by using code Farley in the Fortnite item shop. But now onto the video. Now first things first, if you want to become a god fighter in the brand new season, you need to learn how to end fights quickly. Because on such a small map with 80 players, it basically means if you don't end fights quickly, you're guaranteed to get third partied. So super quickly, I'm going to show you one of the best ways to end fights quickly in the brand new season. Alright, so an example on how to end fights fast would be in this build fight right here. As you can see, there's a player up in front of me trying to take high ground from me, and eventually he's going to side jump and land next to me and place a wall to block me off. From where I'm standing right here, I look at the other player and there's no wall right here. So if I edit this wall, I can grab control of this one before he can react. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit through on the player, hold out cones, place one in his box and mine, place a wall, edit through, but as I edit through, notice how I then fully swing to the left on a right hand peek. But from where the other player is standing right now, as I've edited, and you can see, he clearly can't see me behind the wall. And this means I'm able to pump the player in the face and get a big hit of opening damage and crack the player. And from this point, he's obviously super weak and he tries to back up and run away, so I just spam my pistol at him and eventually the wall breaks and I'm able to pick up a quick elimination. So if you want to start consistently winning fights in rank just like this, start making good peeks on your opponent, so you always get the opening damage you want and you're going to be able to win more fights. Moving on now, I'm going to be talking about the second best way to become a better fighter in the brand new season, and that is by using the ramp phase trick. The ramp phase trick is the best piece control move to use to full box your opponents every single time. Alright, so an example of using the ramp phase trick in a game is right here. As you can see, there is a player up in front of me popping meds. I'm going to push over to him and he's instantly going to swap to his hard mats and he's going to try and box up. Now when this player boxes up, it's very important to look into your opponent's box and notice if they placed a cone in there. If there's no cone, what you can do is instead of taking the wall, you can hold out a ramp. This throws a ramp in your opponent's box and forces him to leave. So just like in this fight right here, when I look into his box, I don't see a cone in there. So instead of taking the wall, I'm going to hold out a ramp when I try and take the wall, throwing a ramp in his box. And from this point, since I threw the ramp onto the right side of the player, he's going to try and back up and leave in the other direction and create space. So from this point, what I'm going to do is move out to my left, cut him off, and set up a pre-piece by double editing down and then placing a cone in that space. And when the player edits out in that direction, I have full control of the box, so I can easily pump him when he runs into that space and I'm able to spray him once more and then pick up a free elimination. So if you want to win fights super quickly in this brand new season, start using the ramp phase trick to pre-piece your opponents to give you free kills. Moving on now, I'm going to be talking about the main reason that you're dying in ranked, and it is because of third parties. Now, since we're on a smaller map, it basically is guaranteed that after you pick up a kill, you're going to get third partied. So super quickly, I'm going to show you a quick example on how to deal with third parties properly. Alright, so a great example on how to deal with a cleanup crew or a third party would be right here. As you can see, there is a player running away from me in the air, and I'm able to spray him in the back and then pick up a quick elimination. But as I get over to the body and I try and grab all of the loot, another player pushes up and tries to third party and clean me up. So if you're getting third party like this, there's two things you need to do. First off, you need to never be greedy for the loot, because if you're greedy for the loot, you're not aware of what's around you and you could die. And the second thing you always need to do after you get third partied is create space. This is going to give you time to react, just like in this fight when this player tries to drop onto my wall. So what I'm going to do to bait and full box this player is I'm going to flip up the cone in front of me and act like I'm setting up a double edit above me. This is going to make the player then place a ramp and then place a high wall because he thinks I'm trying to double edit up. And from this point, since he doesn't expect me to edit through the wall in front of him, I can edit through, place a cone above him, trapping him in my box, and then I can place walls all around him to get him full boxed. From this point, I'm going to spray out the player's ramp and then replace it with a cone and then reset the wall, and now he's trapped. From this point, I'm going to bait the other player to shoot the wall by hitting a simple wall reset and then holding the wall. And when he tries to shoot and steal it, I can hold the wall, keep it, and then edit on the player quickly, pump him in the face for 90, and then reset the wall. From this point, I'm going to wait for the player to make a mistake, and when he reloads, I know he can't shoot back at me. So I quickly make a window edit on a right hand peek, and I swing. Notice how from my POV when I make that edit, I can see the player and I can pump him easily. But from where he's standing, he's cooked. He can't see me at all, which means it's lights out for him, and I can easily pump him and then pick up a free elimination, even though this guy tried to clean me up and catch me off guard. So if you want to win fights in ranked, especially when getting cleaned up or third-partied, never be greedy for loot, create space, and then you might be able to react to what your opponent is going to do next, and this will allow you to full box people, and this will allow you to just win more fights in general. Moving on now, I'm going to be talking about one of the best ways to catch your opponents off guard while build fighting, and that is by learning how to turn defense into offense while in a build fight. Alright, so an example of this in a fight is right here. As you can see, I am up on high ground and I'm trying to pre-piece this player, but when I do this, he 180s and he catches me off guard and he's going to pump me in my back for 70 damage. Now when this happens, I'm now forced to box up and I need to pop my burgers. But when I do this, the other player instantly places a ramp, drops onto my wall, and he tries to spray in. So instead, when this player drops onto my wall and he tries to jump in, I'm going to edit the cone in front of me, flip it up like a ramp, and then I'm going to double it up, look forward, and then hold out a cone. What this does is it puts a cone above the player's head and it traps him down below in my old box. This now allows me to take height on the player, edit the cone to my right, and get some opening damage in the fight. Now as soon as this happens, the other player tries to mantle up onto my left wall. And I know I have control of the box he's standing in. So this is my chance to full box the player. So I'm going to edit the wall in front of me with a peanut butter edit, and then I'm going to full box this player. But as I make this edit, notice how I've now swung fully to the left. This means right here, my position, as you can see my POV, I have a full right hand peek and I can see the player. But you'll notice from where the other player is standing right here, I'm protected behind that wall right there, so he can't hit me. And this means I'm going to be able to get the first shot off, jump, pump him in the air, and then just spray him and then pick up a super quick elimination. So if you want to win fights against people trying to jump into your box just like this, maybe add it up, place a cone above their head, and then you might be able to full box them just like this. Now you have to understand when you're fighting in ranked, every single fight is going to be different in some way or another. But a consistent way to win fights in ranked is by learning how to cut off your opponent's angles. Alright, so an example of this in a fight would be right here. As you can see, I am up on height and there's a player on low ground below me. Now eventually I'm going to try to drop onto this player, but he's going to run away in a hard match and he's going to create space and brick. When I see this, I'm going to drop on the other player's roof and then hold out a cone and then a double edit to his sides so that he can't leave from that side of the box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit the cone and then bait like I'm trying to take his floor. This is then going to bait the player to edit and try and pump me. And since there's no cone in his box, when he edits, all I have to do is hold out a ramp. What this is going to do is completely block the player's shot, and now since he has shotgun delay, I can flip the ramp, I can pump him in the face and hit him for 100 damage. After I hit this player for 100 damage, he goes below me and he hugs this wall right here. Now when this player hugs this wall, that usually means he's probably going to edit out in this direction, right? So what I'm going to do is drop down on that wall, and then I'm going to hold out a wall and then edit through and then place a cone. So now I can pump him as he moves in there and I'm able to crack him. And from this point, I see the player moving out to my left, and I see him going into this building right here, so I just shoot the window, replace it with a cone, and then I can easily just pump him once more, and then pick up a quick elimination. So if you wanted a quick way to win fights in ranked, cutting off angles would be a great way to do so. So look for opportunities like this in ranked to win more fights. Now if you do want to become an insanely good fighter, you also have to be a smart fighter. So I'm going to show you a quick way on how to W key and be aggressive while also being smart at the same time. Alright, so an example of me doing this in a fight is right here. As you can see, there's a player up in front of me popping a med kit. I'm going to see him and I'm going to ramp up above him to take height. But when I push over to the player on high ground, he tries to ramp up towards me. So I'm going to block him off with floors and cones. This is now going to force him to fall onto low ground and he's eventually going to have to box up. Now when you're in a situation like this, it's super important to look at your opponent and look for open walls in their box. So like right here, for example, this is me right here and I'm pushing over to the player, right? But as I'm looking into his box, this back wall is open, right? So that means from where the other player is, if I key him, he's going to back up into this space. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a double edit in that area, but I'm not going to double edit there because that's super obvious. Instead, I'm going to fake the double edit by double editing, holding out a wall to block any pump shots he takes, and then edit the cone below me. This catches him off guard, and this allows me to pump him in the face and then place a wall before taking any damage in return. Now from this point, to full box the player, what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit the wall in front of me, place a cone and then a wall. This grabs control of the box in between me and him. I'm then going to fake a edit to my right, reset it, and then edit through on the player, full boxing him, and then I'm able to fully catch him off guard, pump him in the face, and then pick up a super quick elimination. So if you want to full box your opponents just like this, look for opportunities to maybe fake double edit like this. And this might be able to give you the jump on your opponent, allowing you to full box them and then pick up a free elimination. Another big reason that a lot of you people watching this video are dying in ranked is because you take dumb 50-50s that you don't need to. So super quickly, I'm going to show you how to avoid 50-50 scenarios and make good edits. Alright, so an example on how to avoid 50-50 scenarios would be right here. As you can see, I'm boxed up, popping a med kit. While I do this, another player pushes up to me, and he's trying to jump into my box and on my wall. So really quickly, I'm going to reset my wall and hold it to make sure he can't grab it. And from this point, I know I have the builds around him. So I'm going to edit the wall to my left, and then give myself a right hand peek with a window edit, pump him, and then reset the wall. But after I do this, I try and edit on the player another time, and he tries to jump into my box. So really quickly, I'm going to put a ramp in front of me and then put walls all around him. Now from this point, the other player is full box, but if I flip the ramp like normal people would, I would be getting into a 50-50 and I could lose. So to give myself a great peek, instead what I'm going to do is edit the ramp on the left side like this. What this is going to do is it's going to give me a full right hand peek against my opponent. So you can see right here, this is me, I just made the edit, and you can see the other player. You can see from his POV, he can't see me at all, but from where I am, if I jump around the right, I'm gonna have a right hand peek on him. So all I have to do from this point is jump to my right, and when the other player realizes he's cooked, I'm easily able to pump him once in the face and then pick up a quick elimination. So if you want to win fights in rank just like this, stop taking dumb 50-50s and look for opportunities to maybe flip a ramp like this so you don't end up dying in a dumb way. Now, a really important tip you need to learn to stop losing fights consistently in ranked is placing cones in your box every single time you're in a fight. Alright, so a perfect example on why you always place a cone in your box is right here. As you can see, I am in a big build fight with another player, and he's actually trying to go for a full edit course on me and trying to clip me. Now, when I'm sprinting over, I get up on height right here, and I'm going to jump up. You're going to notice me jump up right here, and I see he has this high wall in front of me, which means he's going to try and edit on me and piece me up. So all I'm simply going to do is put a cone down. Placing a cone in this box right here means if this player edits on me, I'll have control of the box and I'll be able to win the fight. So when this player edits on me, all I have to do is pump sit, wait for the other player to edit, I can pump him, and then flip up the cone. This means the other player's shot is now going to be blocked, and all I have to do is hold a cone again and replace it, and when he tries to build, he can't do anything, and he's cooked. And I'm going to be able to pump him once more, and then just spray him, and then pick up a free elimination. So even when you're fighting super confident players like this, look to place a cone in your box, so you never get clipped. Another great way you can safely win fights in ranked is by learning how to fight and take walls from a box away. Alright, so an example on fighting from a box away is right here. As you can see, there's a player up in front of me on low ground. I'm going to chase him, and eventually he's going to run into this box right here. Now when I drop onto this player right here, you're going to see me break on his wall, right? I break in, but when I edit on this player, there is an entire box in between me and the other player. There's this box right here. So if you're in the same situation I was, like let's say there's an opponent right in front of me and I'm boxed up like this, I don't need to move into this box right here to grab this wall. I can actually stand an entire box away, shoot the wall, and grab it from all the way from here. And from this point, I can make a safe edit and peek on the player. Or I can move in safely now and grab control of his box. So instead of moving into this box and then grabbing a hold of a wall right here, instead I'm going to stand from an entire box away, hold out my map, and then hold out a wall. This allows me to grab a wall from an entire box away, and now I can edit on that wall. And when he resets the ramp, I start to move into the box. And obviously, I'm going to shoot that ramp, replace it with a cone. But when I do this, I know the other player is looking right at me, right? So super quickly, I'm just going to flip up the cone in front of me and then reset it. All this is going to do is just block the player's shot so he can't out damage me. And then I can easily just pump him once and then pick up a free elimination. But I was able to grab a control of this fight super easily because I fought from a box away. So make sure to do this to win more fights. And the final way you can consistently win fights in ranked is by creating multiple boxes of space to fight from. Now the reason you want to create extra boxes of space is in this situation right here. As you can see, this is me, right? There's a player down below me on low ground boxed up right here. Now you're going to notice I'm going to create a box of space. But as soon as I create this box of space, notice how I'm going to turn around, make a window edit, and then I'm going to create an extra box of space behind me. The player isn't over here, right? But if I create this box of space in this direction, let's say the player down here likes to key me, right? Let's say he wants to sprint up and jump into my box. If that happens, I have this whole other space I can back up into. And in this fight right here, as soon as I try and edit on the player and try and take his wall, you're going to notice when this player sees me edit, he instantly decides to jump in, right? He sprays through and he jumps in, but you're going to notice he cracks me, right? But even though he was able to crack me, I was able to back up into my old space that I created, pump him, reset the wall, and after I pump this player and reset the wall, I fake like I'm going to leave by editing the wall, and then I reset the cone that I'm on and then edit the wall on him. This catches him off guard with this pickaxe out, and I can pump him and pick up a free elimination. So if you're ever fighting in ranked, always create multiple boxes of space to fight from. So even if you get jumped in on, you have time to react. But that is the end of this video, so if you guys did enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe. I'll be live later today, but with that, I'm out. Peace.